Welcome to SmackDown on Backlash Eve. We start by welcoming NXT Women's North American Champion, Jasmine Nix, shortly followed by her faithful influence, compatriot JC Jane, but the fact we have to go through one after the other does give me a moment to talk about tonight's set of matches. We start with this title opportunity, of course earned by the NXT duo last week, instigated by Fallon Henley in the background, who was there last week to support her faithful influence friends. Fallon Henley, of course, now on the main roster here on SmackDown, but not forgetting her NXT roots and her NXT allies. And here is that other ally, JC Jane, the other half of this now duo left on NXT. But it's a rare opportunity, of course, for an NXT duo to have a shot at the main WWE, or the only, women's tag team title. It happened early in the year when Bianca and Naomi were still on speaking terms and tag team champions, with Metaphors Last Legends and Jakara Jackson getting their shot. That happened on NXT, just for obviously practical purposes. We're doing this here on SmackDown. But with Fallon, of course, being on SmackDown, this is where these matches have occurred. Anyway, regardless, there is an in-universe reason for it, as well as a practical one. But their opponents, of course, the reigning tag team champions in the women's division. And annoyingly, for impractical reasons, they don't get Judgment Day entrances, because poor Raquel doesn't get included in the Judgment Day in-game. But nonetheless, Liv in action early in the week, of course, against Bayley, which was a, frankly, relatively brutal match. She's had 4 days to recover for this, though. Let's hope it's enough. With the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. Not the only championship on the line tonight, of course, though. Tonight's main event, BFAB versus Chelsea Green for the Women's US Championship. In fact, the last 2 matches of the evening are focused around that championship, with the preceding match being the Secret Harvest against Michin and Zelina Vega, the 2 people who have tried and failed most recently to take that championship off Chelsea Green, trying to eliminate her allies first. And speaking of allies, there is no Fallon Henley here today for this championship match. Either trusting her girls, her allies, to do it without her influence, or maybe understanding that Liv and Raquel know every trick in the book, that it's not really worth even trying. But it is Jasmine to lead against Liv, in what would be a very difficult to distinguish encounter if Liv wasn't blonde. Getting a toucan off the bat is incredible. Maybe Liv is a bit tired from Monday still. Immediately bringing JC back in, though. Liv already a little worse for wear. Hauled into the corner. And I dare say, with these fatal influence, a pair, or trio as they once were, but a pair of individuals that very much use the same playbook as Liv and Raquel, but particularly Liv. Useful advice there from the crowd member to the right there. Get them, pin them. I'm not quite sure you need to tell them twice. I think they understand as Step and Enziguri connects. And dealing with Liv is one thing. Dealing with the mountain that is Raquel Rodriguez, and although make this advantage count, JC Jane, because you give Raquel Rodriguez a chance, you are going into that mat at full speed. And so far, not giving Raquel that chance. In fact, I'm not quite sure. I don't think Raquel's even had one lick in yet. Jasmine now in, and is what is most certainly the most mismatched pairing possible in this tag team match. Beckoning Raquel to her feet, though. Raquel, not in a fight on Monday. Liv, bizarrely not trusting Raquel there to kick out of that. But at the very least, it's given Raquel a moment's breath to get to her feet, G herself up, and now begin the assault on Jasmine. Briefly. Oh no. Raquel rise to that. Slam. And I'm pretty certain Jasmine is not going to enjoy what happens next here. JC Jane ready. That was the weirdest breakout attempt of all time. She just kicked Raquel in the heel into the corner. Raquel tags Liv in. And now Jasmine is left for Liv to deal with. Attack on the rope. That is a rope break already, is it not? Is she not touching that rope? Kicks to the face. So Jasmine's taking a bit of pain there. Probably sensible to bring Jason in, the same way it was sensible to bring Liv in. Liv had a spell on the sidelines there, recovering from the early momentum against her. I'm not quite sure what JC Jane thought she was doing there. Liv nowhere to be seen. Just dropping JC on her face in the corner. The power of Raquel Rodriguez on full display. And a heavy set of elbows just to make matters worse. Dragging JC to her feet and hurling her across the ring. But that's where we thought to kick Raquel out of the way. Raquel might be actually just sort of in the way of preventing a tag there. If JC wanted it, she doesn't. And now she can tag if she wants. Stepping outside the ring herself. Okay. Still got a shot in though. It's going to take a little bit more than that to deliver a full suplex. JC taunting us. Raquel manages to get Liv back in. Liv Weistrip. Raquel in the way. Code breaker. Yes, I was supposed to say Jasmine can get in, but Raquel might be in the way. JC still kicks out anyway, but Jasmine's focused on Raquel. And Liv might just deal with her first. Liv the only one left. Jasmine can't enter. Liv and Raquel retain. Raquel in the background just getting back to her feet, primed to get back in the ring there. And still, the women's tag team champions. It would have been quite the upset had it happened, but Liv and Raquel retain. Nia Jax takes to the ring to speak about the upcoming title match again against Tiffany Stratton. They've come to blows many a time since Tiffy cashed in the Money in the Bank against Nia, taking the title off her. At that point in time, they had a prolonged run of encounters after that, before Charlotte Flair took over and set her sights on Tiffany Stratton. But having bested Charlotte Flair at another attempt at a rematch for this title, it is Nia's turn to take over. Tiffany Stratton, though, current title holder. Much like last week when Nia interrupted Tiffy, Tiffy's come out to interrupt Nia. Not just going to let Nia take all the airtime when Nia couldn't afford Tiffy the same grace, really. These two, well, unsurprisingly, this has come to blows. At least it will go tomorrow in a title match. Tomorrow in Universe, just to be clear. As ever with these things, I am now aiming basically for every other day. Well, that's Tiffany and Nia heated up again, just in time for Backlash tomorrow. But a pair that don't need to get heated, or need an excuse to get heated already. Main event Jey Uso. Fresh off the back of interrupting Jacob last week. Gets a match of their own. You know what? There's something right about Jey Uso being on the blue brand. Aesthetically, he fits right in. Whether or not this ends into a long-running feud with the so-called New Bloodline again, although Solo Sikoa not seen for a while, breaking the veil, I'm going to work on the assumption there's going to be a fallout there between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at some point in the near future after what happened with Braun Breaker. Not Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman. I get the sense that, barest minimum, Fatu is going to take control of that faction, but I'm going to run on the assumption that they split. But yes, whether or not this ends up as a long-running feud between the two, Fatu has his eyes on the US Men's Championship. Jey Uso has his eyes on, well, maybe not necessarily the title, but helping in the efforts and getting the title off John Cena. CM Punk is the first up to deal with that tomorrow night. Jacob Fatu with Tama Tonga, as always. There may be a split with Solo Sikoa, but Tama Tonga, Fatu can keep in line. Whoever shouted so pathetic at Jacob Fatu, good luck. Speaking of recent, in the last episode of altering the crowd reactions to certain stars that had outdated reactions, Fatu is the one I'm not sure about. Because realistically, he should be booed, but he isn't. But it's just him who's against Samoan Werewolf. And, well, two men with similar repertoires when it comes to moves. Jey Uso on the receiving end of a super kick. Immediately from the off. That's Uso out of the arena already. But Fatu, once more from that, slamming Uso into the barriers. Bit early for the "this is awesome" chance, but I will be inclined to agree with you at some point later on. Well. Once Fatu's up to speed, there's very little that stops him. And considering how he took basically everything lying down last week, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't do more then. All that rage and fury happening now, it seems. Uso back to his feet and the least exchanging blows. See if he can get the momentum out of this. Oh, he can. That's a super kick. We couldn't really see it because of the camera angle, but bringing Fatu into position to slap. Off the ropes. And another kick. 2-1 in Kick's favour now. Rolling Fatu into the middle of the ring. A baseball bat has appeared from ringside. Referee tempted to do something about that, but distracted by the pin attempt. Maybe the referee will get back to that now. He does. Tama Tonga, though, providing enough of a distraction to allow Jacob to get to his feet. And I don't think Jay's noticed, somehow. Tama Tonga effect in full view as... Well, Tama Tonga, much like he did last time they were in a fight, accidentally not working in Jacob's favour. Throws Jay back in the ring, which meant Fatu landed on absolutely nothing. But nonetheless, Fatu's managed to get the momentum back on his own. No thanks to Tama Tonga. There's a sign in the back that said Jacob loves solo. I think someone's not up to date. I don't think there's that much love there anymore. Not quite, Jacob. Not quite. Only a 1 count. Although, immediately attempting again. And failing. 3rd time's the charm, Jacob. Or not. Just sapping the energy of Jey Uso, just forcing him to kick out one time after another. 4 attempts in a row. He got there in the end. That's good momentum for his own title push, at least. That's, of course, if Jacob Fatu's willing to let that lie there. Speaking of not letting things lie, Drew McIntyre, off the back of his embarrassing count-out defeat to CM Punk last time out, caught Sheamus having a good laugh at his expense backstage afterwards. So, the Scottish Warrior and the Celtic Warrior, although technically both of them are Celtic Warriors in that respect, but the Scotsman and the Irishman, 2/3 of a joke set up. Coming to blows again here tonight. I'm sure Sheamus wasn't the only one amused at Drew's count-out defeat last week, but fortunately for Sheamus, he was the only one who got caught doing it. By seeming chance at this stage, Drew McIntyre in 3 weeks has squared off against all 3 of the male newcomers to SmackDown. Jey Uso led to fisticuffs, CM Punk led to a match, and Sheamus led to a match as well. Drew McIntyre effectively rolling out the welcoming wagon in the least welcoming way possible to the 3 latest members of SmackDown. At this rate, he'll end up facing Stephanie Vercaer when she's back from injury. Somehow. Maybe that's why Fallon Henley's made herself scarce tonight, in case she ends up the next target. But this is a bit personal, as always, as you'd expect, between these two. But more just a point of pride for Drew this particular time. As for Sheamus, though, I was talking about Drew coming to blows with all 3 of SmackDown's latest members. Sheamus has already come up against Jacob Fatu, and now Drew McIntyre since arriving here. I'm not quite sure you could make a list of 2 men who are any angrier than those 2 over here on the blue brand. If you're going to make a point on your return to SmackDown, then, well, he didn't put away Jacob Fatu, but putting away one or both of them will be quite a statement. The irony, of course, slightly, is that Sheamus from 2 came to blows because Fatu interrupted another Scotsman's entrance at the Royal Rumble, which Sheamus was enjoying very much. So Jacob Fatu and Sheamus dealt with that particular grievance when Sheamus arrived on SmackDown. And now he's ended up in a match against this Scotsman because he was laughing at this Scotsman. And it would be quite the irony if Sheamus lost by count out here. But by Drew exiting the ring once again, that's reset the count out at least. Which gives Sheamus a little bit more time, maybe. Eventually. Oh, counted. Maybe they don't care about the counting. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Although... Oh, I thought he was about to get him back in. Sheamus is back in the ring at least. It'd be incredibly funny if he got counted out again. It's going to be close, Drew. You don't want it to happen twice in a row. Oh, to 9 we got. A big brogue kick. And the count out. Drew McIntyre narrowly avoids being counted out, only to get a boot to the face. And then pinned. Only marginally less embarrassing. Drew McIntyre is going to have to do something. But beating someone like Drew McIntyre could certainly put Sheamus in the picture for a title like LA Knight, the US Men's Champion, taken to the ring. In the wake, of course, last week's #1 contender match between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, he's welcoming the challenge of Andrade on next week's SmackDown. He's looking forward to that fight as he looks forward to any attempt on his title. He is a fighting champion, after all. And right on cue, as someone pulls up a Mellows Don't Miss sign in the crowd, like the aforementioned Joe Hendry, say his name and he appears. Mello, the loser of that #1 contender match against Andrade, seemingly still wanting his shot next. Or at least after Andrade. But LA Knight disappointing the crowd by not letting this one come to a match right now, but effectively saying, you'll get your chance. Mello will get his chance once he's earned it. We move, though, to Michin. And the first half of an unorthodox tag team for this match right here, right now. As we'll call them victims. The two latest victims of the Chelsea Green regime, and more specifically, a secret Hervis, unite to deal with said Hervis. Michin and Zelina Vega working together to help, admittedly beef up an ally somewhat of Michin in recent months, but to help beef up, finally, someone, anyone really, to take down the Green regime. But Zelina's here too. And this is a small measure of revenge maybe for Zelina if she can get the pin on Piper Niven. Specifically, B-Fab doing what Zelina couldn't and actually getting through Piper Niven first to set up the championship opportunity in the first place. But both Michin and Zelina know that Chelsea's allies will do anything to assist the US Women's Champion. So if they can distract and take them out before the championship match directly after this, then that will help. Welcome to the first half of this in their usual attire rather than their Secret Hervis attire. Alba Fire, they're not on duty right now. I'll be honest, I didn't think to check if Alba Fire was cheered or booed. For some reason I just expected it to be booed, I don't know why. Pretend they're booing. A woman comes out with a flaming baseball bat and, you know, not the villain. At least the other half of this tag team is accurate. Piper Niven arrives as the head of Chelsea Green's Secret Hervis. I wonder how Chelsea's actually going to take this, frankly. Next match, she could well be without either of her allies, depending on how beaten up they get in this match. At the very least, neither of them will be 100% for it, should they make an appearance. We kick things off with Michin and Alba Fire, who, of course, is probably Michin's very specific annoyance in this particular match. Alba Fire, the surprise in Michin's street fight title match against Chelsea Green. The surprise that prevented Michin from actually winning the title off Chelsea on that occasion. Zelina failed to get through Piper Niven on her attempt shortly after. Of course, in real life, Zelina might be able to work her way to an attempt between March and May, but we'll pretend that Zelina never did here. Similarly, we'll work on the assumption that Piper and Alba have worked together in those 2 months as well. However, this will be the first time that Michin and Zelina tag team themselves. Michin's usual partner, BFAB, of course, usual new partner, is BFAB. They're the one with the title chance at Chelsea after this. So it is up to Zelina to assist Michin in this interruption of her secret service. That's got to be rope break. You can reach it from where you are. But Zelina not really with a particular grudge against Alba specifically. Zelina's grievance is against Piper. So Zelina might be wise to get Michin in here. Alba laughing. She won't be laughing for much longer. Just a count of one. Into the corner. And there is the tag. It's an orthodox tag team working together. Launching Alba into the air. And now Michin, with Alba softened up a little bit. And Michin fresh. Gets distracted. And now Piper's in. Piper just jumping over Alba Fire there. Not a lot of respect giving to a Secret Service colleague. Michin escapes the ring only for Piper to come flying. Into the steel steps. Up to a count of 4, but counted. Both women need to get back in the ring, though. Or at least one needs to get in and come back out again to reset this count, because... Come on. This is going to be a count-out victory here. Oh, just in the nick of time. Piper just... Well, Michin wakes up just in time. I was about to say, that was about to be a heavy slam. Piper using her strength, but Michin gets wise for it just at the right time and counters, and now has the advantage, seemingly. And with Piper softened up, it's time to bring Zelina back into the mix, perhaps. Obviously, a lot of Zelina's repertoire. Not useful in a matchup of this kind. Also managing to counter Alba there. Zelina perhaps maybe unwisely beckoning Piper to her feet, but... Crossbody. Into the pin. That would be a certain amount of catharsis, had that gone through. Although, don't taunt, now you got Alba to deal with. I don't know what she was doing there, but it made me laugh. Just because of the way Piper was at that point in time. Oh dear. Gory bomb. Piper can't seem to decide where she wants to stand, but Alba has to leap all the way across the ring to make this land, and somehow manages it. Hurts herself slightly in the process, I think. Michin will break this up, perhaps needed. Zelina counters. Struggling to get a hit on Alba there. Not sure what happened. Alba throws Zelina across the ring. Begging for the tag is Meechin in the corner. One part just to save Zelina, one part just to get some licks in on Alba, I'd imagine. And well, that probably could have been a lot worse, really. I think it is about to get worse, though. Oh, avoids the running crossbody and phases through Piper. Counters long enough to get a few licks in of her own, though. And into the Dragon Sleeper. Piper kicks out. Corner's not a great place to be when you're up against Piper. Interestingly, though, handing her over to Alba Fire. Really expected her to do some kind of running attack there, with Zelina completely primed and ready for it, but Code Red. Piper can break this up, and does. No, into her own corner, Zelina's thrown. She can wake up. You can just tag Meechin in here. Ah, well, I think Alba's recognising this opportunity for that. Exactly what I expected to happen just a few moments ago is now happening. The pin happening right under Meechin's nose. Secret Harvest on top there, and victorious. But as you can see from Alba's face particularly, they took some damage. And if they're going to be of any use to Chelsea in a moment, they're going to need at least a few minutes breather first. And here the championship match between BFAB and Chelsea Green, of course. Their allies have dealt with each other in the match before, which might see them out of action for the rest of this. We'll ignore the Ashanti the Adonis stuff. I hope they patch that out for BFAB. She does have an entrance of her own, I think. We saw it against Charlotte Flair in real life. But it would be one hell of an achievement for BFAB to get the title here. It's certainly the biggest achievement to date. In fact, getting to this match is the biggest achievement to date, you could argue. But as I say, somewhat allied with Meechin in Meechin's run at the US title. It's BFAB's turn. And hopefully, maybe with Meechin and Zelina's help, dispatching, or at least distracting, Chelsea Green's allies long enough, they'll get a real proper chance at the US Women's title. The first real proper chance anyone's had. But here is everyone's favourite, least favourite champion. I don't know how that works, but yes. The best Canadian-American president of all time. At least women's, anyway. In this sense. The US Women's Champion takes to the ring to defend her title. Without Piper Niven and without Alba Fire. They have been essential in preventing victories against Chelsea in the past. Alba, of course, preventing Meechin and Piper on many occasions. But yes, indeed, on Backlash Eve, the Women's United States Championship is on the line here. As the challenger, BFAB, the crowd seemingly very much behind her tonight. And the incumbent, the US Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. The crowd somewhat less enthusiastic there. But she is champion for a reason. It must hurt her to just hand that title over at any given moment, even if it is just to put it on the line. Very protective of that title is our Chelsea. We get this match underway. Not a great start from BFAB. Really not a great start from BFAB. Let's not lie. In terms of outright physical challenge, you'd argue that Piper Niven the tougher opponent to get through. But in terms of ring prowess, perhaps, Chelsea Green is US Women's Champion for a reason. She got the title. She got the title originally. She may have employed a secret service to keep hold of it since then. But she did manage to secure the title first. Against stiff opposition. And yes, this start has gone from bad to worse from BFAB here. Thankfully, it's not an embarrassing loss. She does at least survive the first pin, only to be wounded some more. And finally, gets an attack in. Even if we can't see anything that's happening right now. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oof. I'm not quite sure Chelsea's going to enjoy being walked over. I can't imagine many people do, to be fair, but Chelsea particularly. That's it, BFAB. Still going. This exchange of blows. Both women seemingly already running out of steam in that particular exchange, but finding a second round of things is Fallon Henley. Wait a second. I think that finally explains why Fallon wasn't ringside for her Fatal Influence friends. Distracting BFAB at a critical moment when Chelsea Green has no secret Hervis. I do believe we've just seen member number 3. Makes a lot of sense that she would serve the US champion. Perhaps we shouldn't be surprised. We certainly shouldn't be surprised. She's utilised underhanded tactics to give Chelsea Green a brief respite there. Did come under attack a bit and misjudges that. Perhaps she could do with Fallon coming back out again. This does not work for BFAB though. A count-out victory wouldn't be enough. Chelsea unwise there, really. For the title, it needs to be pin or submission. BFAB kicks out of that. Perhaps Chelsea just wants to make a point. And done prettier. That might be it for BFAB. And is. Chelsea Green retains with help from Fallon Henley. Chelsea victorious. She retains. No Piper, no Elba, but seemingly with Secret Hervis number 3. A new member, a new ally. Well, Chelsea Green's entourage only grows, it seems. If Michin, Zelina Vega and BFAB didn't think it was hard enough to get through Alba Fyre and Piper Niven, that's just got that bit more difficult. 3 women to get through before you can get to Chelsea Green now, seemingly. Are we ever going to get the end of the Green regime? Time will tell. But Backlash next. A lot of titles on the line there. I'll see you for that soon. Do like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Until then, ta-ra.